And before we dive in, would you mind telling our audience just a little bit more about who you are and what it is that you do?
I help to find opportunity in the chaos by strategically positioning yourself in life and in business. And it's all about getting results. And often we tend to plan without real intention on what we want to see at the end of the game. And I find that whether I'm working with big businesses or your small entrepreneurs. And so my company, the Bradford Group, as well as the Bradford Group Consulting, one is a mortgage company, so we help you find money.
Oh, I love it.
And then the Bradford Consulting, we help you with strategic planning and foresight and positioning yourself so that you always remain relevant in an ever-changing market. Hello and welcome to another edition of Business and Financial Raw Talk. I am LaWanna Bradford, and today I have a very special guest here who's actually the host of today's show, none other than the amazing Barbara Beckley.
You know, every show host has their unique signature, right? So what is your USP when it comes to Raw Talk?
I believe my USP, Barbara, is the fact that I'm in two lanes. I'm a dualpreneur. So meaning I have a corporate professional background as an award-winning financial analyst and award-winning strategist, working with billion-dollar companies as well as government agencies. And I'm also an entrepreneur. So I have 30 years experience as an entrepreneur. I've worked both of them independently and as a dualpreneur, working both in tandem. And I think because of that, it gives me a very unique perspective. I know what it's like to start a business from scratch. I know what it's like to go for financing, to bootstrap your business, to get venture capitalists, to establish your branding, to do from a traditional brick and mortar business to buying, product placement, pricing. I've done all that for my own business, but then big business, I understand the system of business and the strategy in order to achieve success and how businesses make money. And one of my the things that I do well is I know how to add zeros to the bottom line. And so I think as a host, it allows me to have that intelligent exchange with whoever is sitting on the other side of the mic. Mm-hmm. And it also allows me to understand where they're coming from so that I can amplify and spotlight them even more. So I believe that's my USP.
Yeah, that's a strong USP because I like how you've been doing it for so long. You know the whole array of it, and you understand the pain points. You understand what people are dealing with. You can also have those answers for them because you dealt with it, been through it, and working with others with it.
So you want to really get into your company and your background in finance. What helps you shape that background in finance and get you to where you are today?
Oh wow! Taking me way back down memory lane, huh? Mm-hmm. So it actually started when I was recruited as a presidential intern out of the University of Arizona, and I was working in the management consulting arena. So as an internal consultant for the federal government, and with that, I was responsible for financial management of the military forces. So that was my introduction to that, and then it just grew from there. So I also did financial analysis for the Olympics, for transit authorities, also for Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Wow.
Excellent.
That's very powerful.
And now you're working with athletes? That's another aspect of your business model?
Yes.
And I know I was reading in the article from Sports Illustrated, 4 out of 5 professional athletes end up bankrupt. Unfortunately. And how do you feel about going about changing that number, making it more of a positive number?
I think for me, it's not so much changing that outcome, but really helping to empower athletes to understand that they're in control of their own destiny, that they don't have to leave their lives up to chance. And often you think about that professional athlete who's transitioning from life on the field to their civilian career.
Absolutely.
Their entire life has been conditioned to be football. And so many of them identify with being football. Well, they are not football. That's what they do.
Right.
And so my whole thing is to help them understand that's just something you did. You did it well for a point in time. Now, how do you take that lived experience and do even greater things?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
How do you get them to follow your game plan of becoming an entrepreneur?
It's not about them doing my game plan. If that's their desire to be an entrepreneur,
Yeah, for those that want to be an entrepreneur.
then it's showing them the tools that they need, because just like the career with NFLs is very short-lived, it's 3 years. The average small business owner closes shop in 3 years.
Oh, that's true.
Right?
Yeah,
So it's like, how do you position yourself to stay relevant in an ever-changing market? And the first thing is knowing your industry.
Right.
And then once you know your industry, what makes you unique? And now how do you dominate that lane? And then realizing that your lane was designed by you. No one else is in your lane but you. If you believe someone's in your lane, then that's your belief. But if you truly understand how powerful we are as creative beings, no one's in your lane, ever.
And to that point, you know, my pastor always talks about the cookie cutter mentality. You know, every Christian is not the same. You know what I mean? Every Christian has their...
How do you know, with those athletes, you know, that have those 3 or 4 year careers, how do you help set them up, you know, for that post game, just in case it doesn't go the way that they want it to go?
I think that post game should never be just in case. It should be this is my life. So it's having them realize, what do you want your life to look like? You know, let's project out 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Let's not look at the game, at what you do, but what do you want your legacy to be? How do you want to contribute to society? What impact do you want to make on your family, the community, and the world? Then let's start dialing that back and carving a plan for you to get there. So the game may help you because it's put some financial resources behind you, but what's next? You're bigger than the ball.
What is the hardest aspect of working with the professional athletes?
I think the biggest is mindset and identity, because most of them identify who they are with what they do, and there's a difference. You are not ever what you do.
That is deep. That's deep.
That's true. That is true.
Right. So it's like you hang up the uniform, and it's like, oh my gosh, now what? What do you mean now what? Who are you? Let's unpackage who you are. Let's identify those gifts and talents that you have, that you've used prior on the field. Maybe it's a leadership skill. How can you translate that? But typically, you think about it, most athletes, they retire. What do they want to do? They want to be a newscaster or a coach. It's like, really? Is that? No, there's nothing wrong with that, please. I'm not saying there's anything wrong.
But that's all they see.
Right.
That's the only thing they see. They haven't really explored it because they're so busy training and staying in shape and going to practice and the OTAs and the whole year-round season. That's all they see and all they know of outside of being a football player or an athlete in any other sport.
That's so true.
And I think if my program can help them realize through their lived experience on the field, right? It takes teamwork, it takes discipline, it takes leadership, all of that. If they could take that and translate it back to their communities, and you look at our Black and brown communities, imagine what we could see as far as transformation.
Huge transformation.
Right.
This is my last
small
question.
business owner who feels that these times are a little bit uncertain. There's a lot of changes coming to 2025. What are the key things that you would recommend small businesses to do or consider in this upcoming year?
I think what's very important, I have a system called the R3, which is about being able to remain relevant in an ever-changing market. And R3 stands for refocus, reframe, and reconnect. And it's basically a strategic framework because markets are ever changing, and it's not just this administration, it's any administration, it's any pandemic, any economic turn. And so you have to, number one, understand what it is that you offer, how you sit within your industry, follow the industry giants, and understand the success leaves clues. Be ready to reframe your lane and know that you own and dominate the lane because you're the one designing it, and then being able to communicate and articulate what it is that you provide to the marketplace, basically identifying that problem, that issue that you solve, and then being committed with intention. And I believe that when you're able to do that, success may be challenged, but it is inevitable.
This is my last question. Feel free to answer it or not. But after hearing all the great work that you're doing, what role does your faith play in, shaping all of this together?
Oh, total. It's all me. And in fact, this program came about because of that, because of my personal trials. And this whole program is about when you go through, I like to call my tsunamis.
Wow.
Right? You live long enough, life's going to happen.
Right.
So then how do you rebound off of that? And for me, just to share with the audience my story and how it came about, I have my mortgage company, as I told you, but then 2007, 2008 hit the mortgage crisis. So instantly our ability to do loans was stripped from us. Then from there, my brother who was in the business left the business. Then my husband and I got divorced.
Okay.
Then I was sued by one of the largest banks in the nation. Then I was diagnosed with cancer.
Oh, wow.
Talk about a tsunami. I see.
And all of this is in a 6-year time period. And so I think my story, though an athlete may not have the exact thing, can relate to when you feel like you're on top, when you are on top, actually. And then the rug swept from under you, then what? And so with this, I became my own case study. I was wondering what caused me to be so resilient. How did I keep rebounding, and not only just rebounding, but getting better with each rebound. And I realized it's a system, and it's this R3: reframing, refocus, reframe, and reconnecting.
Okay.
And I saw that consistently in all, and I realized, wait a minute, it's for a time such as this.
Exactly.
That all of this is now to tell my story. I'm to show athletes, executives, entrepreneurs, business owners how you can win.
So for our viewers who are looking for maybe just a little bit of advice, is there maybe one tip that you could share with our viewers that they can take advantage of here?
I would say the one tip is realizing that you design your lane. You truly are the architect of your life. And if you can take that to heart, you realize that no one is in your lane. You don't really compete with anyone but yourself. So if you take that mindset, then you can only get better and better.
That's fantastic. Now, for folks who want to find you on the internet or on social media, where can they find you?
They can find me on all things social media by my name, LaWanna Bradford, or Instagram. It's the LaWanna Bradford. Or go to my website, LaWannaBradford.com.
Easy enough. All right. Well, LaWanna Bradford, thank you so much for joining us on Florida National News.
Thank you so much.
Stay tuned to FloridaNationalNews.com for more.
Thank you so much.
Thank you again.
That's only fair. Well, now, before we go, we have what we like to call the Bowie TV Bowl. And this is a bowl of fun questions where you're going to dig in, pick one out, and I just want you to answer the question. Believe me, there's nothing crazy in there.
Okay.
I promise
Nothing compromising, right?
Nothing that'll get her in trouble. I promise.
Okay. Do I read the question or do you?
I can read it if you want me to.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Your top 3 movies of all time.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, my top 3 movies would be The Matrix. Because it's all about, again, that mindset and who you are, and believing that you can shape shift, create your world. The second would be Platoon, and just the spirit of the soldier, the spirit of the game. And the third one, believe it or not, is The Sound of Music, because it's about family.
I like that.
It's about family.
Take a moment, if you would, for those folks that are watching. 2-part question. Number 1, what type of clients are you looking to work with, if any, right now? I'm not sure if your firm's taking on any clients. And number 2, how can folks best connect with you if they want to stay in this conversation over and beyond this time that you and I have right now? How can they best connect with you?
Well, they can connect with me, all things social media, by my name, LaWanna Bradford, or Instagram. It's the LaWanna Bradford, or my website, LaWannaBradford.com. Easy breezy. And the type of clients that I love to work for, individuals who are very focused and know what they want, who have been in business for at least 3 years, because I like to deal with individuals that are looking to create change, elevation, and impact in a rapid way. And how we do that is helping you to unpackage the R3 system within your life and in your lane of business. And if that's you and you're looking to really do some great and powerful things in 2025, and I'll be able to share with you some things that happened to me just last year, even in times of crises. If I can do that when I'm in the most difficult time of my life, imagine what you can do when life is flowing smoothly for you. So that's what I'm looking for. Individuals who know where you want to go, know you want to make a difference, an impact, want more income, but you want to learn the art behind the strategy. Then let's design the R3 system for you. In the high stakes world of business and sports, time isn't just ticking, it's explosive. Where the elite forge their path, where champions and visionaries aren't just participating, they are leading. Welcome to the R3 system, your exclusive strategy in a world where the only constant is change. Refocus with clarity. Reframe with innovation. Reconnect to lead. R3 isn't just a plan, it's a revolution in strategy. This is the domain of achievers, on the field, in the marketplace, at the forefront of progress. With over 30 years of award-winning expertise in fields from defense, sports, finance, the Bradford Group knows victory. Their winning attitude and team power aren't just concepts. They are your strategic advantage. It is your time to stand out, to lead, to redefine success. Make the decisive move. Contact the Bradford Group and embark on a journey that sets you apart. Don't just meet the future, shape it with the R3 system. Act now, your legacy awaits.